All right, Coach, you got 4 games left in the season. How will you measure your team's success over these last 4 games? What do you want to see out of the team?
Well, it's always going to start off with wins and losses. I think that's where is the ultimate measure for us, and what we're striving to achieve is a win each week. And so that doesn't change. And we continue to keep that high standard. I think in the midst of a record that we have right now, nobody's lowering the standard to try to make people feel better. That's there. Hey, we were running to win, and so we want to go 4-0 these last 4 games. So. With that though, the way you win games is you take it 1 week at a time. It's every week is a season. Every time we play an opponent, it's a brand new life in itself. So as we are rolling out here Monday, you're excited to get forward. You're looking at your opponent, all the things that they do, and the strengths, weaknesses. So we have the current leader in the GNAC conference coming in. It's homecoming, so it's exciting. Gonna be exciting Saturday night. Can't wait.
Talk about last week, Richard Dewey ran the ball on you guys. Talk about compare what he did against you guys and how you're going to prepare for Demetrius Sumner coming up just the entire Central Washington offense.
Yeah, well, you look at obviously we played each other twice, so week 1 to week 2, and I thought we were able to defensively really create those key stops when we needed them, and so I thought we did a fair job with the run. We're always trying to improve our run defense. I think for what we had, some young guys starting for the first time, I thought they did a great job of stepping up. And so, what we have going with Central Washington, which is a tremendously strong running football team, one of the largest O-lines in the league. I think they're a physical, nasty bunch. You're going to have to make sure you maintain your gap and also just be as physical as you can. It's going to be a physical night. Excited about that. We like playing physical football. It's why our guys play the game. And so this week coming into it is that you got a tremendous running back that runs. He's probably the best in the league, to be honest with you. And his way he runs the ball is it's a guy who wants to get after it. So we're gonna have to be able to put some things together to get after this guy.
Coach, you talked last week about staying on the throttle.
Mm-hmm.
You open up the game 13-0.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like they stayed on the throttle a little bit better this week? And tell me your thoughts on that from the last Humboldt game to this Humboldt game.
Well, yeah, I think we did stay on the throttle. Maybe some could say otherwise, but when you look at it, you're playing a Humboldt State team. It's a veteran team. They're last year's GNAC champion. They're still in the hunt for the conference race. So we know this, is that if you're going to be a champion in this league, you're going to be somebody who's going to play 4 quarters. We knew Humboldt State, all the pride they have, that they would play the 4 quarters, which they did. We were able to continue to get some key stops, make some scores, and move the ball in offense. At the end of the game, I think the 4-point differential really speaks the truth about what the game was. You're close. There's some things that really do cost us those 4 points, and so. You look, I thought we made the key stops in the defense in the red zone. We give a chance the offense has a chance to win the game. There's enough time to make that drive. We don't get it done, so we'll go back and look at what we have to do with 2-minute drives. We practice them every week, and so. But you're also playing an opponent who wants to win too. So, this is a tough claw scratch fight to the end type of league that we play in. And I said this earlier in the season, and I really convicted about it all the more. Is that we've got quite a few teams in this league who could be 1 and 2 in a lot of other Division II leagues. So we just happen to have them all in ours, which is great. So as we are continuing to go off and projecting out to when we complete our Division II process in 2014 when you get playoff eligible, we know this is that we're going to see enough good football to understand what it's going to take to get us to that new national level, which is the goal here as we transition our program to Division II, which we're excited about. And every week we come away with it. So we keep our little markers in our notebook about this is what it takes to be successful, and those are the things that you'd love to learn overnight, but it's called learning, and that's why it's happening faster for us than we want it to. But we're like it. Let's get it done.
Humboldt State and Central Washington both very run-heavy teams. Are they probably maybe the most similar styles that you've of any two teams within the GNAC?
Well, I'd say the strategy of running is similar. How they go about it is different. I thought Humboldt State took a lot of the game plan that Central Washington played us in game one. Humboldt really tried to duplicate a lot of that. I think where you do see a style of difference is that Humboldt doesn't have the big running back that they're just going to try to wear you out 4 quarters. Humboldt's going to rely on a lot more play action to try to take some shots. Humboldt has some pretty skilled receivers. Where Central Washington, I think they're skilled receivers, but they know this is that they have an obvious strength in their O-line and their running back. You want to feed that running back, 60 times a game if you can. The dude can run, and their O-line is big. So, that's what you really want to get after with them. I'd say, that Central Washington's quarterbacks just make sure you get that ball and hand it off well. Because that they want, if you have it, go for it. So that's where I see the big difference in those two.
Defensively, Matt Hackett had a great game. Played well individually. Just talk about the impact of him and some of the other young defensive players for you guys and how they're coming around.
Well, they're not young anymore, which is exciting. Just see them step out that way, and you're seeing some young guys in the barn that are just finally, they're used to the heavyweight type of blows. So now they're knowing how to take it on the chin and deliver back. It's not startling them as much anymore. And now they're reacting back to it. They're able to attack more. They're able to be physical in their own right. And you're seeing the pace of how they play is they're getting used to the college game. So the game isn't slowed down. They're just speeding up. And that's everything you want to have to see with a young guy. Matt Hackett is on that right pace to where we have a big vision for him and all of our young guys to say, hey, we want you to be a dominating type of player. We don't want you just to be, hey, just play the game. We want you to be the best you can be. And we got, he's a good talent. And I'd say this, one of the things that helped us last week, I thought that was great. We were able to play a lot more people. And so that seems to be something that works for us. And, it helps, I think, us to be fresh in the fourth quarter. It also helps more guys get experience. And that's what's happening right now. And I'd say this is that I'm really happy with how our guys have taken the learning opportunities and now they're turning it into a veteran type of the swagger about themselves, which I like that.
Coach, looking at this coming weekend, you got homecoming. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to be hyped up for that.
Absolutely.
You talk about the team learning, playing more guys. Looking back at Humboldt and the score from the first game to the second game, You've got to be excited going into this next game. What are your thoughts? How is the locker room looking right now? Take us inside of that and just kind of what your plan is for this weekend to keep the emotions in check.
Well, I'll tell you, first and foremost, I'm their biggest fan. I couldn't be more excited about a group of guys. And I am fired up for them. I see exactly where they're going. When this thing clicks, it's going to be really sweet, and it's clicking in a lot of different places in the program. It's just right now you can see there's moments when something misfires, and that's the learning part where you want them to figure that out, and they're seeing it when they turn the film in on Monday. They see it, and I think our style of practice has changed. The locker room has been a very positive, motivated locker room. Our young men see the big picture, and our young men also know that that how they handle today is a reflection on who they are and what they want to be. So, in the big picture, we tell them, hey, we're building champions while pursuing championships. When we go into the home and we recruit and we tell them, these guys, we make the promise to them, say, we're going to have a vision for who you are as a man first, and we're going to take the vehicle of football and continue to teach and grow you all these life lessons that can come up through this crucible called football. Now, our guys are experiencing something right now as if that nobody wants to go through, but it's everyone has those moments. Now our guys are handling it very well, where they're getting back out there, getting better, getting on their horse, and they're making sure that they're improving and taking care of what they can take care of. So I'm fired up for them. Like I said, I'm their biggest fan. I couldn't be more proud of a football team because for all we So our reality right now is for us is we're just looking for Coach to go 1-0 this week. That's it, and every week that's all we're trying to do. So, if we were undefeated at this point, it'd still be the same thing. You've got a tough Central Washington team coming in, you've got homecoming, and you've got a chance to compete and play college football, and coach college football. What a blessing.
And then the balance of the offense. Last week we were almost 50-50 split between running, passing. You got, after a couple of low rushing games from Terrell Watson, he got back up over 100 yards, dangerous in the passing game. Talk about how important that is to have that balance in the offense, and how nice it was to see him start to put it together.
Well, it's important for us to get the run game established. We want to run the ball here, and we want to find different ways to get to that, whether it's running our quarterback, running a guy like Terrell, or running any other quarterback. And so I think when you have that balance, it opens the passing game. And for us right now, having a receiving crew that's very young, who now, they've got a lot of snaps under their belt. So, and I tell them that no one's young anymore. That takes some pressure off. It helps create some passing lanes, because essentially the defense starts crowding the box, so it opens the top up on the coverage to get behind them. And so we're real close to getting those over the top passes. But what I like though, you see Nick begin to have more experiences under his belt. He's seeing more film of himself, how he's diagnosing. There's more opportunities for Coach Carlton to really get in the film room with him and say, hey, what are you seeing here? And so as he develops, so this offense keeps developing, and you see a guy like Terrell, who honestly, the guy, he wants to take this team on his back and take them all the way, and that's what I love about him. He's one of our leaders. He's a guy who every day on Mondays he's ready to go, and that's the kind of guys you want on your team.